I have went to each and every sub-locations in my ward. And what I'm facing, it is residents of Masinga asking when they will be receiving these seeds. Yet, we are being told the seeds were lodged and distributed. Madam Speaker, I don't want to say the seeds were not lodged and distributed on the same day. But it is unfortunate the beneficiaries were not from Masinga Central Ward, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, that day, we had people varied from different wards. And when time came for issuing of the seeds, all the people were present. Some had come as far as the Kalakala ward, Kiva ward. All of them had to queue so that they can get a pack or 2 packs of the seeds. Madam Speaker, Masinga sub-count, not Masinga sub-count, Masinga Central Ward. And where the exercise took place, we have a technical training institute. And I'm saying it here without fear of contradiction. Majority of these kids who are students in the training college, they also lined up to get the seeds. And it is true, they were given these seeds. The men who attended the launching of the seeds, they were told you are not going to get seeds. It is only the female attendees who were to get these seeds. And I want to tell you, at the night, it was a booming business. These seeds were being sold by the kids who have nowhere to plant them at a throwaway price of 150. So, Madam Speaker, as I seek this statement, I'm not just seeking it doing politics. I'm not doing any politics. But my people are still waiting to be given seeds. The rains have started. And I want to tell you, even if that committee goes to Masinga, what they will find and what they will get from the voters of Masinga and the residents of Masinga, it is they did not get the seeds. Yes, they saw the governor there. They were told the seeds are here. But immediately after the governor left, something else took place. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. While I'm committing this matter to the Agriculture Committee, I would ask the Agriculture Committee to investigate or check into the allegations made by Honorable Mwanga concerning those seeds that were provided and launched by the governor on that date, and bring a report to this House within 14 days. That is to mean that you bring a report on or before 22nd of November 2023. Thank you, honorable members. I invite as well Honorable Raphael Lakinzao to come forward and lay another statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, aware that Article 43, subsection 1A of the Constitution of Kenya provides that every person has the right to the highest attainable standards of health, which include the right to health care services, including reproduction health care. Aware that Part 2, Section 2A and C of the 4th schedule of the Constitution of Kenya provides that the functions of the county government include county health services, including county health facilities and the promotion of primary health care. Further aware that On 18th October 2023, Her Excellency the Governor, Honorable Wavinya Ndeti, launched a total of 2820 community health promoters who have been offered basic training to serve as first responders at the primary health care stage, in line with the national government agenda of universal health coverage. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the standing order number 41 of the Assembly standing orders, I wish to seek a statement from the chairperson of the Assembly Committee on Health and Emergency Services concerning the following matters. 1. We are in the know about the new developments on the community health promoters in our county. What plans has the Department of Health and Emergency Services put in place to ensure payment of arrears of the laid-off community health promoters? 2. How prepared is the department on the newly recruited community health promoters in terms of their welfare, pay, and capacity building? Madam Speaker, I wish to add on in these two requests or statements I'm seeking, in your permission. Madam Speaker, I believe you are aware this exercise has been on for a long time in our county and in our country. It has been, before it changed to community health promoters, it was community health volunteers. Yes. And over the years, despite the important function this group has been doing to our society, we've been having a lot of delays and rather pay delays, rather compensation or any acknowledgement or encouragement of this group. I'm asking the outstanding payments about, as in when are they going to be paid? Because there are those who have been maintained, yes, we appreciate, and we regret that others have been laid off, something we don't know, and according to me, it's not comfortable because when terms are bettering, somebody is laid off. But we are asking, how and what are the measures about when are these people to be paid? So I request we get a definite answer and to inform our members of the society that their pay is coming. At the same time, I'm looking and fearing that those who have been taken aboard may suffer the same setback that has been going on. Madam Speaker, it is good this House puts good measures and asks for good measures that these community health work promoters will be having their pay in good time, will be having their welfare be taken care of very promptly, and that they'll be the training will be continuous so that they be having skills and information on how to handle our patients back at home. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. And thank you very much for that statement. Put this statement to the Committee on Labor, Public Service and ICT to respond to the House within 14 days. That is to mean that we expect the report on or before 22nd of November 2023. And while you're doing your investigations on the allegations of non-payment of salaries to those, the promoters, please look into the issue of their welfare, how those who are laid off and those who are retained check into their welfare, both. Thank you very much.
Point of inquiry, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
I raised to inquire from the chairman of the House Business Committee, Madam Speaker,
Yes.
in regards to a statement that was sought by Honorable Douglas Musyoka, MCA Masi, in regard to a mishandling of a patient in our general hospital, that is level 5. And I am finding that the speaker is just about to dispense the issue of statements, and that statement has not found its way to the House business. Madam Speaker, I would want to have an explanation as to why this statement has not found itself in the House business, because it's lacking and it's very urgent. I have heard the statements that have been sought here, Madam Speaker, and they don't even meet the threshold of this kind of a statement that is being inquired by Honorable Douglas Musyoka, where one of his residents lost a son in very, very unclear circumstances, and it's only this house where we can be able to find out. This burial is actually slated for this Friday. The family, the residents around there are in actually a lot of agony. So, Madam Speaker, I thought this was a very urgent statement because it has found itself. I think I got a draft of it here, but it looks like it's not in the order of discussion here. Madam Speaker, I would ask for your indulgence.
I'm not aware of any statement that, or do you wish to respond? Okay, proceed and respond.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, Madam Speaker, I sat in the Committee of House Business, and I was the chair, and I thought the work that was done by the committee is the work that is supposed to be done at the plenary. I even do not understand how the member happened to have known that there was a statement that was supposed to come in a committee before even the committee sat. So I think with the resolutions of the committee and the House is supposed to work and move on with the resolutions of the House Business Committee, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If the statement did not appear before the House Committee this morning, then it wouldn't have been balloted. Something else?
Yes, Madam. I think, Madam Speaker, it's high time that we lay everything bare on the table here. Madam Speaker, it's clear, and it's a known fact that this statement appeared in the House Business Committee yesterday. In the deliberations of the House Committee yesterday, Madam Speaker, there even arrived at a point where a decision needed to be made. The whole committee was divided about this issue here. The leader of that meeting was the DS. The majority was there, the minority was there. And at one time, the
Point
members,
of information, Madam Speaker.
I seek your protection.
Point of information, Honorable
Madam
Speaker.
I seek your protection as I make this statement.
Honorable
This
Speaker,
is my matter.
information is very important.
Madam Speaker, this is my matter. Let me just lay
Point
bare
of
what it
information.
is.
Honorable Ngunga,
Yes, Madam Speaker, I'm just saying.
I had just given a ruling saying that if it never appeared before this,
It did,
the
Madam Speaker. I'm
ballot-
saying this is a matter that
The
was
House-
it found its way to
Point
the
of
House Business
information.
Committee.
and it is not before
You know,
this
Madam Speaker, let
plenary.
us not go this way. We are
Madam-
losing this thing here.
Okay.
Point of information, Madam
Let
Speaker.
us not go this way.
Information, please.
Honorable Ngunga, have a seat a minute. I want to hear what the minority leader has to say.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Point number one, the honorable member who is alleging that the honorable member who is alleging that the statement appeared before the committee is not a member of HBC. Point number two, Honorable Speaker, the House deals with matters which have been approved by the House Business Committee. So if the matter was not approved, there is no way it can find its way to this House. Point number three, and the
Madam
last one.
Speaker, it pains me to see
Point number
members
three.
behaving this way
Let's
when we have a life at
let's-
stake, Madam Speaker.
This is on his
It is
speech.
very unfortunate.
Honorable Ngunga, please have a seat.
Are these parents surely?
Kindly,
Am I addressing parents here?
kindly have a seat.
It is so belittling, Madam
Kindly
Speaker, when
have
I
a seat.
raise,
Honorable Ngunga, have a seat.
surely.
Have a seat.
See?
Proceed.
The last point, Honorable Speaker. It is a normal practice for all the assemblies, the 49 assemblies, the 47 county assemblies, and the National Assembly plus Senate, 49 of them. It's a normal practice before any document is approved by the house, it cannot be a property of the house. So since that statement was not approved, it is no longer a property of this house. And we cannot waste this time for this house to deliberate on issues which are not a property of the house. So Honorable Mheshimiwa Ngunga is just trying to mislead the house and interrupt what the house business has approved. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, let's bring this matter to the end. So long as the matter was never tabled in the house business and it was not balloted, it can't find its way to the house business. Thank you. Let's proceed.
Before you close this matter here, just Madam.
Madam Speaker, point of order.
Madam, you are
Madam
late.
Speaker, point of order.
Madam Speaker, you are late. Just a minute. Madam Speaker, you are late.
Point of order.
I am actually speaking for the soul that we are lost.
And our standing orders just say as I have just said. Let's just adhere
I
to our
oblige,
standing
Madam
order.
Speaker, but with a heavy heart, because I thought this is a matter that's going. Actually,
I've made a
personally,
ruling,
I thought it was going to touch your heart.
Honorable Ngunga have made a ruling. Let's proceed. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, approval of motion on disbursement of bursaries.
May I invite May I invite Honorable Lucky to come forward and move this motion. Proceed, Honorable Lucky.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 43, subsection 1F of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides that every person has the right to education, and aware that Section 116, subsection 1 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 provides that the County Executive Committee member for Finance may establish other public funds with the approval of County Executive Committee and the County Assembly, acknowledging that pursuant to the provision of Section 116, subsection 1 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, the CEC for Finance has established the Machakos County Bursary Fund. Further aware that the County Assembly of Machakos enacted the Machakos County Bursary Fund Regulations 2019, whose object and purpose is to provide for the bursary scheme for the provision of financial assistance to needy students. Noting that the disbursement of bursary is usually done once in the financial year, where the school calendar runs from January to December with a 3-term period of 3 months per term, where students are expected to pay school fees at the beginning of every school term. Aware that Machakos County Bursary Fund Regulations 2019 do not limit the number of times bursaries can be disbursed in a year. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that this Honorable House discusses and approves that the County Government of Machakos disburses bursaries at the beginning of every school term. Madam Speaker, with your permission, I'll request to expound slightly about this motion. Madam Speaker,
Proceed.
Madam Speaker, we are in the fields every now and then as MCS, and Madam Speaker, the biggest challenge we get is bursaries. Madam Speaker, bursaries is a very critical issue and involves and resorts to many names when we go to collect or to source for the beneficiaries. And more often than not,
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
more often than not, Madam Speaker,
Point of
the
information.
list that is normally collected is never exhausted.
Point of information taken. Honorable.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just wanted to seek your clarification that before the member discussed the motion, he's supposed to get a seconder of the motion before we come
He's
to the
not
discussion.
discussing, he was just ventilating.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Ngui, for being awake in the House. Madam Speaker, I was giving an explanation that when we collect the names in the fields, they always overflow the figures we are given, and it becomes a big problem when you meet these beneficiaries, rather electorates, a year long when somebody is waiting for a bursary, somebody is waiting for consideration, given that at some point his or her name was collected, and at the end of it all, due to the small figure we get, the name is dropped on the way. I'm seeking that we have more times to issue these bursaries so that we can accommodate the names we collect in January, in that given time. And if we spread them over the year for the 3 terms, it also gives a better reference and better chances to keep in touch with our people, with our electorate. Madam Speaker, also it is very evident that school fees is paid every beginning of the term. And even if we give bursaries at 1 term and the 2nd term is not given, the 3rd term is not given, it is human, we'll forget. And at some point, we labor explaining that we gave out bursaries in January, yet we are in December and our electorate still need bursary. I'm asking, it is possible, I'm asking this House to make it that we will be giving bursaries every beginning of the term. The names we collect in the beginning of the year, more often than not, they are enough to spread in the remaining 2 terms. So, Madam Speaker, at this point, I'll seek a seconder from the Leader of Minority for this motion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you, Honorable Minority Leader. I now propose the question that this House discusses and approves that the county government of Machakos disburses bursaries at the beginning of every school term. I now invite members to debate this motion. Members, it's your floor, it's your time. Honorable Minority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Judas Ndawa, area member for Matu. Honorable Speaker, the motion is good because it's going to benefit our kids. The only thing that we are supposed to be concerned about is the budget. If we talk of giving bursaries every term, it means now we have to increase the budget for bursaries. I can see what Mheshimiwa is seeking to achieve is exactly what is happening. Honorable Speaker, as you recall, Her Excellency the Governor, Honorable Wabina, promised to increase the amount that we had proposed as we were collecting the names that we are to benefit. Every member had information that each ward had been allocated 2 million. So we went with that figure of 2 million and working with 2,000 each, the number went up. Like for instance, in Matu ward, I had about over 900 beneficiaries that I had identified. But when it came this side, the governor saw it wise to give 3,000 instead of 2,000, an increment of 1,000 per beneficiary, which was very okay because 3,000 is greater than 2, of course, it is greater than 2. And if one had a balance of maybe 5,000 and is given 3,000, then he or she is left with a less amount. So, Honorable Speaker, the reason why I'm supporting the motion, and I've already talked on education, from the list that we had collected, we gave the first disbursement of about 300 and something. We gave the second disbursement of about 300 and something. So there is a balance of about 300 beneficiaries in my ward, and I believe it's also happening in another ward. If we can go by what the motion seeks to need to achieve, I've already talked to the officer in charge in the Ministry of Education, and they have confirmed to me that they are not going to pick new beneficiaries until they have cleared those names that had already been picked. So I support that we increase the budget, and once we pick the names, either in the beginning of the first term, we pick all the names, then we spread the way it's seeking to achieve. We disbursement number 1, 2, then the third one, so that all the names
Point
are
of order. Honorable
clear.
Speaker,
I've already finished.
Madam Speaker, I'm wondering whether the leader of minority is ahead of the Education Committee. Madam Speaker, I'm a member of the Education Committee. The CECM Education, the CEO and the directors were before the Education Committee. But what he is telling us here, it is not what they told the committee. We asked them about the names which did not receive the 3,000. Because increasing from, I agree with him, because increasing from 2,000 to 300, it means there were beneficiaries who were left out. And we asked them, what is going to happen? Their answer was, we are waiting to be told on what to do. And that we have somebody here telling us, telling other stories. It's unfortunate. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member, for that.
Honorable
Correction.
Speaker, thank you for that information.
Yes.
But
Honorable.
as an honorable member representing the great people of Matu, I have right to go to any office. I have right to go to any department within the county and get information. As I stand here, what I'm telling this house, it is exactly what is going to happen. Whether you like it or not, we
You
cannot
are
go for new names when we have pending names.
You are ahead of us.
Yeah? I'm always ahead of others. I lead, others follow.
Honorable Paul, then Honorable Ndwiki, in that order. Honorable
Thank you,
Paul.
Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to ventilate on this matter. My name is Paul Wambua, MCA Kibaoni Ward. Madam Speaker, first of all, I don't like what is going on because we are digressing from today's motion. The motion seeks this House to approve that the Education Department awards bursaries 3 times a year. But what we are getting into is not part of what I had Mheshimiwa Lucky present as his motion today. His idea is very noble, Madam Speaker, that every beginning of the term, we support parents and our children who are needy with bursaries. However, Madam Speaker, this will depend on availability of resources from the county government. Because, for instance, our financial year begins in July. And the earliest, from experience, that we get funds after July is about September. And when we get these funds, probably they may not be committed to the Education Department entirely. So, Madam Speaker, my suggestion is that we leave the issue of this bursary issuance to the department concerned, aided and guided by the Committee of Education, which represents members in this House. Madam Speaker, Probably what we need to look at in the issuance of bursaries is the issue of giving equal amounts to every student who is in high school. Madam Speaker and members, honorable members, my 5 fingers cannot be of the same size. This applies to the parents out there. This applies to how blessed each is in terms of resources. I would propose that in as much as we want to give a uniform figure, the bursary committee allows members and the community to identify students who are more needy than others, because we cannot all be equal. Personally, I will not support as is, but I will propose that this becomes an internal process of the education department, guided and aided by the education committee. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Ndwiki will proceed. The rest of the members who want to debate, I'll give you an opportunity in the afternoon, because we are continuing with this matter in the afternoon, because we are almost, time is getting up. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Daniel Ndwiki, MCA, Mulolongo Syokimau Ward. I rise to contribute on this number motion about the distribution of bursaries. Madam Speaker, as I support the motion, I propose for an amendment on the motion, because, Madam Speaker, if we pass it that we give the bursaries at the beginning of every term, Madam Speaker, as you consider now, we have 2 terms remaining for this financial year. So that means we'll not be able to issue the balances, the fees bursaries for the 3 terms, Madam Speaker. Because the financial year starts on June and ends on June, at the end of the June. And now as we start the financial year 2023-2024, we will give the first bursaries at January. So you see the third term will not be within this financial year. So there are some technical gaps in this motion, Madam Speaker. What I would also suggest for the move of the motion to add the motion is to consider the distribution of the bursaries, Madam Speaker. As everyone knows, Madam Speaker, we came from different ones with different population, Madam Speaker. Like in my place, I have more than 10,000 parents who need the bursary, Madam Speaker. We have some ones with about 5,000 parents, and other ones with 7,000 parents. So, Madam Speaker, in future, we may consider.
Point of information, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, I note with concern what the member is alluding to, that his ward has 10,000 parents who need bursaries. Madam Speaker, in as much as he has 10,000 parents who need bursaries, it's also worth noting that where he comes from is a cosmopolitan area, where people who support the ones that we support in the rural areas live. And furthermore, some of the people who live in your ward, Mheshimiwa Ndwiki, also ask us for bursaries. So we can discuss that outside this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I was actually asking you, what is the amendment you are seeking to be added in terms of distribution?
Yes, I was seeking for the amendment for the bursaries to be distributed as per the population, Madam Speaker. Because Madam Speaker, even when, Madam Speaker, even the distribution of bursaries in the CDF is not equal, Madam Speaker, because like in our Mafoko constituents, Mulolongo Syokimau got 13 million, Adrivan got 11 million, and Kinania got 9 million in the CDF distribution of bursaries, Madam Speaker, depending on the population. It is my proposal. I'm not just...
Point of information.
So let him just say his proposal.
Point of information.
If it is not taken by...
It's a proposal. It's not ruling. Protect me, Madam Speaker.
The member is misleading the House. There is also a point of information.
Yeah.
Madam Speaker, point of information. He is misleading the House.
Information taken. Proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker.
What I can see and what I can see from the member who was just standing up now is behaving like Habra, because when he was asked about where is he just answered, in getting this kind of answer, the woman that you gave me gave me the fruit of the holy fruit, and we ate. So, Adam, I'm talking about the
Point of information, Madam Speaker. Point of information, Madam Speaker.
Let us stick to the
Madam
question.
Speaker, point of information.
The motion that is before us.
We cannot joke around with this, the only scriptures.
The matter that is before us is about
Madam Speaker, point of
the
information.
increase of terms that we should be giving our students, the bursaries. So we should stick to the point of the motion that is on the table.
Thank you,
Madam Speaker.
More information, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, there's some more information.
Can we continue with this debate in the afternoon, honorable members? Thank you very much. Now that this matter will continue in the afternoon, you, Honorable Ndwiki, you will start in the afternoon and say what is it that you wanted to say that time. At this point, I wish to have the House adjourn the business of in the morning. We proceed in the afternoon. The House adjourns to Tuesday, 7th November 2023 at 2:30 p.m. Thank you, honorable members.